What's up, Algebra 2? Here we are with your Unit 9A Summative Review Worksheet. Okay, question 1. Given 5 pi over 3 for our theta, find the exact value of all the 6 trig functions. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick sketch. 5 pi over 3, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pi over 3. That's about our approximate location. We're more down than we are over, so that helps me with half over negative radical 3 over 2 down. Okay, remember it goes cosine, comma, sine. So our sine is negative radical 3 over 2. Cosine is a half. If you want to take care of this one, when you flip a half, it's going to be 2 over 1. Okay? Tangent is sine over cosine. So we got negative radical 3 over 2 over a half. Fraction divided by a fraction. Let's flip it and multiply by the reciprocal. Our 2's would cancel, and we'll have negative radical 3 for our tangent. Okay? When we flip this one, negative radical 3 over 2, we flip that one. 2 over negative radical 3. Can't stop with the radical on the bottom. We'll have negative 2 radical 3 over regular 3. And when we flip radical 3, let's see where we can find some space. 1 over radical 3. Can't stop with the radical 3 on the bottom. And we'll get radical 3 over regular 3, negative. Okay, so it's knowing your unit circle. Okay, for as much as you have to do the unit circle, I think it is roughly, well, going forwards, it'd be like one problem, and then the solving ones, it'd be more ideal just to be able to do this, I think, than it is to be able to sketch a whole unit circle during the test. I don't know, up to you. Okay, basically the same stuff, but from a coordinate point. Negative 17, comma 8. Alright, so negative 17, positive 8. Usually we don't do negatives on side lengths, but I'm going to put a negative 17 there to help us out with our sine, cosine, tangent stuff. And well, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 8 squared plus 17 squared. If you are going to do that negative 17 squared, make sure we do parentheses, negative 17 squared. Okay, we got 353. Radical 353. Because it's c squared, so we have to square root it. We got radical 353 over there. Okay, sine is going to be opposite over hypotenuse. 8 over radical 353. Can't stop with the radical, so we're going to multiply that top and bottom. Okay, and that should give us 8 radical 353 over regular 353. I like having this first one, though, because it makes it easier to do the cosecant when we flip it. That's just going to be radical 353 over 8. Cosine, we got negative 17 over radical 353. Alright, when we fix it, negative 17 radical 353 over regular 353. Again, it comes in handy to have that, so that when we flip it, and we can put that negative wherever you want. I just like to keep my negatives on top or in the front. over 17. And then tangent is opposite over adjacent. 8 over negative 17, or negative 8/17. Flip it. Negative 17/8. Okay, part B, finding your theta in radians. Okay, so we're going to go to mode, and we're going to make sure our calculator's in radian mode. Just to make it easier to avoid doing a radical, I'm going to use tan inverse. Okay, second tan inverse of negative 8/17 is negative 0.44 radians. Is negative 0.44 radians. Okay, that's going to be down there somewhere. We need it to be up here. So we're going to add plus pi plus 3.14. So we have 2.70 radians. Alright, so make sure you're in radians mode, tan inverse, or you could do any of those, okay? Double check to make sure it makes sense, okay? And then add pi or possibly 2 pi if you need to. Converting radians to degrees, we got 9 pi over 20. We're going to multiply by 180 degrees over pi. Pi's cancel out. 9 times 180 divided by 20. We should have 81 degrees. Okay, you have a matching one to do over there. Solving. 7. We got tan squared equals 3. We're on the closed interval 0 to 2 pi. Tan squared equals 3. We're going to square root both sides. Where does tangent equal plus or minus radical 3? Okay, that's a tough one. You got to think about that one. You got to use your brain. Remember that tangent is sine over cosine, and we kind of had one like that on the front. Okay, remember when we did sine over cosine and we divided? Okay, so we're looking for wherever tangent or wherever sine is going to be radical 3 over 2 and cosine's a half, plus or minus. And that's going to be at our pi over 3's. Okay, at pi over 3, cosine's going to be a half. Sine's going to be radical 3 over 2. So when we do radical 3 over 2 divided by a half, we should get positive radical 3. Okay, 2 pi over 3. We're going to be doing the same thing, but with negative a half. So we'll get negative radical 3. Alright, it's the same stuff there. So you have to be kind of creative with this one. This is wherever we're going to have plus minus radical 3 over 2 over plus minus a half. And that's going to be at all our pi over 3's. And we're just on 0 to 2 pi, so we don't have to do the plus pi k. So pi over 3, 2 pi over 3, 4 pi over 3, 5 pi over 3. Alright, similar one for you to do right here. It's just sine, might be a little bit easier. Okay, 9 cosecant squared minus 1 equals cotangent. So we're looking for something with cosecant squared. Okay, here's cosecant squared. If I minus the 1, cosecant squared minus 1 is cotangent squared. So that should be cotangent squared. So all that is cotangent squared. Okay, I'm going to subtract over minus cotangent equals 0. Okay, we don't have a trinomial to factor here. So it's just what's in common. They both have cotangent. Take a cotangent out in front. Now it's cotangent minus 1. So now we're looking for what makes each spot equal 0. What makes cotangent equal 0? And what makes cotangent equal 1? Because 1 minus 1 would be 0. So you got to think about what cotangent is. Cotangent equals cosine over sine. When would cosine over sine equal 0? When does a fraction equal 0? When the top is 0 or the bottom is 0? We don't want the bottom to be 0. That's undefined. We can't divide by 0. So it's when the top is 0. So now this turns into when does cosine equal 0? Pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. Or pi over 2 plus pi k. Or pi n, or whatever you want to call it. When does cotangent equal 1? Okay, remember cosine over sine is cotangent. When does that equal 1? When is cosine and sine the exact same thing? Positive pi over 4, or it's going to be radical 2 over 2, radical 2 over 2. And then at 3, 5 pi over 4. When they're negative radical 3 over 2, or 2 over 2, negative radical 2 over 2. Not these. These two would be mixed. Positive, negative, and then they would end up being negatives. So that would have been the negative ones. Okay, so we're looking at pi over 4 and 5 pi over 4, or just pi over 4 plus pi k. Alright? There you go, folks. Hope that helps. Also, look back to the quiz review if you need extra help there. Best of luck on your test tomorrow.